So after filling it, what we are going to do now is to close this our space. So what I'm going to do now is to close this space here. So I will use my needle and thread to do just that. So go on to use your needle and thread. So let me just go ahead to close it. So once you have done that, once you have tack it down, you will go ahead to cut your fabric like this. So I'm gonna have to cut my fabric, keeping my sewing allowance at this part, and inside there I kept my sewing allowance. So after this, I will go over to my lining and cut. But before I cut my lining, I'm going to fix my zip on my lining. So you can either use your main fabric to do both your lining and your fabric the same piece of fabric. But mine, I want to give this a design. For the foam, for the bed, for the baby nest, I have lining inside of it, and I have the Ankara at the side. You can switch it either ways. For the nest, you can switch it either ways. So circular for my sea pillow which I have here, I want it to be two colors so that you can switch it either way to give it that kind of beauty. You know what I'm saying? So you can still use two different kind of Ankara to make your baby bed. You can make the inside one part of Ankara, you can make the outside another part of Ankara. Even this, you can use the same two pieces of Ankara to make it. So when you switch it, you change the design to the other side, and you can switch this circular bed. That is the beauty of this bed. So what I'm going to do at this part now, I'm going to create 10 cm. So I'm going to make a mark at 10 cm here, 10 cm here, and I'm going to rule my lines out 10 cm. If you have a longer ruler, mine has spoiled. Mine has spoiled, so it won't still be enough. I'm coming. So I broke my ruler by mistake. So this is my 10 cm line. Take note, this is my 10 cm line, which I have here. My 10 cm line. I am going to rule a straight line like this. Connecting it down to this part. So what I am going to do at this my 10 cm line now, I am going to cut it out. So at this your 10 cm line now, you need about 3 cm. You need 3 cm at this line here now. You need 3 cm, 3 cm at this line. When you want to sew, you need your fabric to be 3 cm from this part outward, 3 cm. Then here you can keep your normal space which you kept for this one for your sewing allowance. Keep the same space inside there, but this part you keep 3 cm. Here as well, you keep 3 cm. Here as well, you keep 3 cm for this part. For your fabric, and here you keep 3 cm for this part. So let me go ahead to cut my fabric and come back to show you. So you can see what I have here. So you can see my little bit of sewing allowance which I have around this piece here. Just like this, then ends here. So from here to here, I have my 3 cm line. From here to here, I have my 3 cm line. And I was able to rule a straight line, indicating that this is my paper here. I was able to rule a straight line down to this point. From here, a straight line down to this point. So if I take this off now, I'm still going to see my lines which are appearing here. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to fold my lines exactly at that part there. Then I am going to iron it. So I will go ahead to iron this both piece, folding it like that. Then I'll come back to show you what to do next. So remember, I told you right from the beginning for my circular bed that when doing this, you indicate the wrong side of your fabric. Make sure you indicate the wrong side of your fabric. That is very important. Make sure you know that this is your wrong side and this is your right part which you are working with. So this is my right part for me, and this is my wrong part. So I have folded it down to the wrong part. That is what I have here now. So what I am going to do for my zip now, you can see my zip like this. What I'm going to do now is to sew it. I'm going to sew this, place it on my zip like this and sew. Then I'm going to place this other part like this on my zip and sew. Make sure it closes like this. Make sure it is meeting each other like this, so your zip does not show out. Hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So your zip does not appear. Make sure you place it like this and sew. So I will go ahead to sew this piece first. I might decide to sew this. I might decide to sew this close like this. Place it like this and sew from this mouth. Then I will go ahead to place this later on to close my mouth of my zip like this. Then I am going to sew at this part. So let me go ahead to sew this one first, then come back to show you so you don't get confused and before going ahead to do the other one. So you should know that I am making use of this color zip because of the sake of this tutorial. This is a class and I want you to understand what I am doing. So when doing yours, make sure you are using a matching color zip to do this. Please take note of that, because I want you to understand and I want you to see it very clear on what I am doing. So I have gone ahead to sew it from here down to this part. So you can see my zip down to this part can zip out. So after we are going ahead to do this, I'm going ahead to place this on top of this like this. I'm going to place it on top of this like this. So you can see that right after placing it like this, it has covered my zip, a little bit of it. It has covered my zip. Will I say total? Because I'm going to place it like this and sew. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to sew. I'm not going to sew it the way I sewed this one. This one I'm going to keep a space. So when I sew later, it will be like this. When I sew later, so I'm going to stitch it. Make sure you are catching up with your other bit of fabric. Make sure you are meeting that one. So I'm going to place it like this, a little bit on top of this other one. Then I'm going to sew it down to this end. So let me just go ahead to sew it. You can as well go ahead to pin it down. Should make sure the space you have at this end and the space you have at this end are equal, so you don't make a silly mistake. Then you can go ahead to pin it down. Go ahead to pin it down like this. Then when sewing, make sure you are arranging this when sewing. So I will take it to my sewing machine now and sew, then I'll come back to you. Okay, so I have gone ahead to do that so you can see what we have here. So let me zip it. So you can see it gets to this part. Let me close it back. So you can see this part is closed. So let me bring my fabric to show you what we have here. Then I'll go ahead to pin it down. So you can see I pinned from this part and I stop it at this other part here. So from this part I have pinned it down because I want to show you something. So what you are going to do now, you are going to take this out like this and you are going to put this your zip head in. Because if this zip is here now and you go ahead to sew it close, you have spoiled what the effort we put in making this. So what you are going to do now is to put this head. Let me see if you can see this. So this head now, we are going to put it in. We're going to put it in like this. Make sure it is the same way it was. And we're going to place this back and pin. Place it back and pin. Make sure it is equal the same way it was. Pin. So let me just go ahead to pin it down. So remember, as I told you, make sure this part is in place when sewing. make sure you observe this part when sewing. Please, I'm repeating this for you to understand. Make sure you place this when sewing down to the end. So let me go ahead to sew everything down there and come back to you to show you what we have. Okay, so I have gone ahead to stitch it. So once you stitch and get to this point, where your zip is, make sure you back stitch it so that this part will be tight, so it does not get loose easily. Then when you come back to this point again, make sure you back stitch and make it tight. Then go ahead to complete it. So after completing it, you are going to notch. Please don't cut to your thread. Little by little, go ahead to do this your inner circle like this, little by little. So this part will be free when you turn it open. Go ahead to do it little by little like this, little by little. At this part like this. Please, as I told you, don't cut your fabric. Then you can as well go ahead to cut this out, and cut this out. So once you have done that, you now pull this in. So I will go ahead to bring it out. Then let me just bring my C-pillow which we made. You can still go ahead to iron this, but let me just bring my C-pillow which we made, then show you what it looks like. Okay, this is my C-pillow. So you can see where I stitched. You can see how neat it is looking, where I stitched with my needle. So let's just go ahead to put this in. So without wasting much time, let me just put it in quickly and show you. So you can see what we have here. You can see the back side of it. You can see how beautiful it looks. So you can see. So I will see you in the next video. This your piece. You don't have to throw it out. You don't have to do new one. Just place it like this and use your marking tape to tape it down. So next time you will just go ahead to draw your scene. I just want to show you this in case you are thinking of doing new one. Just go ahead to place it like this, then use your paper sellotape to tape it down. Then that is all. So see you in the next video.